All right. Okay, Ruth, tell me a bit about yourself and what you do.
I am a marketer. I've been marketing for most of my career. I would say for the last 15 years, I've been marketing specifically for B2B enterprise SaaS organizations. And I do everything from product marketing to brand to campaigns to demand generation. And then I like to have some skin in the game on the sales side as well. So I've often had oversight of the BDR organization. And I live in Toronto. This is my 4th time as a CMO. I'm currently at Voices. And I love building. I love growing teams, building teams, scaling companies. And yeah, that's what I do. So, I've been a CMO 4 times now, and every company was a little bit different. I worked for a company called Blueprint. We were growing. We were in a very sleepy market and wanted to kind of reinvent ourselves. And video was really important medium in our marketing mix. And so Voices was a way that we could start to put a message out into the market that was very different. And mostly we self-served when I was at Blueprint. And it was great having the peace of mind of knowing that we could do that easily without having to allocate a fortune of budget. When I was CMO at Ada, we were scaling very, very fast and moving into new geographies. Language was a consideration. We wanted voices that were reflective of our brand. We went through a whole rebranding exercise and had a whole brand identity and needed to choose voices in our video that were aligned to that. And Voices allowed us to do that because you're choosing from millions of actors within their marketplace, lots of different parameters that you could search for. So that was really helpful at Ada. And then of course, before I came to Voices, I was at a public company called LivePerson. We put out a lot of video. We did a lot of event videos. We did a lot of customer videos. We used to call them vision videos, and the voices mattered a great deal. And managed services were important in those cases because the videos were often complex, globalized, I mentioned. And it was great knowing that we could not just self-serve, but then rely on the team at Voices to help us with those more complex projects and deliver to us what we needed. I still had a fairly small brand team, so I didn't have the internal resources to take it on independent of the services that Voices offered. So we leaned in a little bit more on the services side when I was at LivePerson. I've worked with teams of all sizes, but really what's most in my wheelhouse is working with smaller, scrappy teams. We don't have experts on our team to go and source the voices, to run auditions, to take into consideration all of those casting elements. That's a heavy lift, and Voices does that for you. So I'm able to outsource that whole function to the best in the business. And then of course, I love that I'm able to source talent from the biggest pool of talent in the world. I often have needed to globalize my campaigns. In all of the companies where I've worked, we've had a global presence. So you need voiceover actors that can speak different languages. You want certain accents. You want to choose an actor that's going to best represent your brand based on that brand identity. And my teams didn't have those skills and expertise or the time and bandwidth, frankly, to go out and do that. That can be a heavy lift. And so it was an easy choice for us to work with Voices. Saved us time, saved us money, and we had peace of mind knowing that we were using a service where they had real expertise. Using Voices is a way that I can scale my team and my impact for very little money. Times in my career have been very budget conscious, and so we were able to get started with Voices without having to allocate a huge amount of our budget. But I also knew that when we got to a certain point and had more resources at our disposal, I could continue using Voices to grow our campaigns, grow our global footprint, grow our impact. And I could dial up the measure of service that I was receiving or dial it down if I really wanted white glove service to walk me through all of the steps. I knew I could do that, but we could also self-serve in a pinch and have a no-touch experience, which sometimes was all that we needed. And of course, Voices is on the leading edge of technology. I'm a marketer that works in tech, and I loved knowing that the platform is built with an enterprise perspective in mind. It's safe, it's secure, and of course now Voices has a real point of view about the opportunity of AI in the marketing world. And so I think it's important that you choose a vendor that's very much on the leading edge of those trends.